Time for a look at another budget 3D camcorder. This is the Toshiba Camileo Z100. In the last episode we reviewed the DXG 5F9V, and this is very similar. It's targeting the same audience, it's just a very similar competitor. It's a decent budget 3D camcorder. You're not going to get pro results out of it generally, but the highest resolution it records at is 1080p at 30 frames a second, half width, and also has the option that I mentioned in the last episode of 720p at 60 frames a second, high frame rate, which although it's not the greatest resolution, it looks buttery smooth. And in fact, if you're like making content for VR, that's not a bad choice because high frame rate can look good in VR and the resolution isn't the top priority, and there's not too many cameras that record in high frame rate 3D. Like the DXG, it also has a built-in fill light, which can be very helpful at close range. And as long as you have a stable hand and you're recording in good lighting, you can get some nice home movie results from it. And the stills, of course, are better quality than the video. An interesting side note, I didn't actually use the Toshiba version. I mean, it basically was, but it was rebranded. I don't know if Toshiba sold some excess stock because it didn't do too well, but mine was branded. It was identical, but it was branded as Yashica Europe. I didn't see too much about this online. I did see that supposedly Yashica was recognized camera name in Japan, I believe, and the name got sold, so it's not really a legitimate company nowadays, kind of like Kodak, I believe. They're just using that name to brand products that aren't their own. And it looked like since they probably got this camera stock after the 3D craze, if you even want to call it that, had ended, and 4K was on the way, they tried to capitalize on that by, as you can see on the camera there, Ultra HD 16K resolution. Wow, that's next gen. We're talking about 8K, 16K, Ultra HD, and they even put Ultra HD on the battery, the battery that powers the camcorder. But no, this does not take Ultra HD 3D. You've got some major marketing spin going on here. First of all, the top resolution available in the camcorder is upscaled. They have their own algorithm to upscale it, but as we all know, it just duplicates pixels. It doesn't add any detail that's not there to begin with. Then that's open matte, so cropped to 16 by 9, which when you see on a 3D TV, that's lower resolution. And since they're not MPOs, they're side-by-side 3D images, they're counting the full resolution of both left and right images, which is not fair. So properly cutting that in half again, it's really basically a 2K 3D image. It's not no 16K UHD 3D, but you get the picture. Marketers will be marketers. So, and their interaxial is a little bit smaller than the DXG. And one other thing that makes it unique is this has a microphone in jack. That's not something you see too often, especially on cheaper camcorders. Yes, you can plug in a microphone or external audio line. But otherwise, this is very similar in form and function to the DXG. Same price range, at least at the time. Alright, I'll see you next time.